Welcome to another episode of Glasses and Cups brought to you by Limitless Digital Media and Bronell ENT. I am your host, Double A. Joining me in the studio is my co-host, TanDope.
What up, do?
And this is a little bit about a lot. Intelligent conversation for the unintelligent world. TanDope.
What's goody two shoes, baby?
Man, we got something serious to talk about tonight.
Something serious.
There are actual human beings
Talk to me.
in this millennium,
Woo.
right?
Woo.
That you would consider fairly intelligent. I know a few of them that believe that the earth is flat.
Let's not bring intelligence into this because no one's actually been there, right? Let's bring this into.
No one's been to the earth, or no one had. Okay,
You trying to make me look stupid?
I'm just.
Nobody been to the end of the earth. Nobody been to the end of the earth. Don't nobody know where it ends.
That's because.
Do you just run into outer space?
That's because it's a.
Or what if you just go straight? Do you just run into the side of it and bust out like a ball? If you start in the middle of
around a circle.
Okay, if you have a plastic kickball and you start in the middle of that ball, and then you go walk one side all the way out that ball, and you run into the side of that ball, do you go through that ball? Or like what keeps you inside of the ball?
We're not on the inside of the ball. We're on the outside of the ball. So you see, you start on one side, the outside of the ball, and you just keep going around and around and around.
So there's no way to go outside of it?
Or if you go this way.
So you can't go outside of it?
If we were a tiny, tiny ant on the outside of that kickball, we could jump off the ball. But, what are you saying that the earth is flat?
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, no, the earth is round.
The earth is round?
The earth is round. You see, there's this guy called Sir Isaac Newton, right?
Sir Isaac Newton.
Fine. Let me not go all the way back.
Is that the dude who made the Fig Newton, the cookie and the foot? I like his cookies. I used to like his cookies.
You know what?
Fig Newton.
You need to slap yourself for that one. That was just foolish to see you do it. Anyway, look. A long, long time ago, people thought the earth was flat. And we didn't have the modern technology that we have now. We didn't have the capability to escape the bonds of gravity and go into outer space. We didn't have the tools and the technology to measure the earth accurately, to measure distances, etc. And we didn't have the technology to travel around the circumference of the earth.
Yes, sir.
Now, seeing as how we have proven that the earth is round, do you ever hear of this guy called Christopher Columbus?
That proven. Yeah, 1492 on the Mayflower. I know about Christopher Columbus. Yeah, okay. We get a day off. Yeah, thanks to Christopher.
Not the Mayflower. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. But anyway, Christopher Columbus
I thought he was
lost.
It wasn't on 1492 on the Mayflower?
It's 1492, but not the Mayflower.
I thought it was the Mayflower. Who was on the Mayflower?
The Pilgrims were on the Mayflower. That was like a couple hundred years. That was 1620.
Damn. All right.
And, okay, look.
Don't embarrass me. I'm sorry.
I don't have to embarrass you.
I'm not the history buff.
I don't have to embarrass you. You're doing fine on your own.
Oh, here we go. Low blow. Keep your punches up, sir. Keep your punches up, sir. Keep your punches up. Yeah.
Look, the point is,
all right, what's the point?
Columbus
Get to your point.
Took off from Spain, right? He was from Italy.
I got some of it right.
But he took off from Spain.
I'm petty.
Right? And he was going to prove that they didn't have to go around the southern tip of Africa to get to the Indies. You could go the other way and come around and not have to worry about paying the Dutch tax to go past their ports.
Right.
He was right about his theory. What they didn't know was that there were these continents in the way, North and South America, right? And Central America connected them. So he ran into the Caribbean. So we get a holiday because he got lost and accidentally on purpose committed genocide of the entire indigenous population. Christopher Columbus is still a punk, in my opinion. But what? I don't like it.
You always got a fancy hat on in the pictures. But
all I'm saying is that he got lost. But what we discovered, though, is that the earth is round and you can sail from one point on the earth and go all the way around it. Now, people say the earth is flat. They say, it's flat because no one has ever been outside. There's a theory about a dome over the earth, right? there's a theory of that Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica and he climbed and he said it's a big flat thing. People say, oh, the moon landing was fake, which maybe not. But I'm not talking about that right now. We're not even getting into
Man, you saying a whole lot of nothing. NASA Earth images is CGI. They're not real.
What?
Okay, they blue marbles with white smoke. It look like a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Oh, come on.
That's what they showing us. An upside down bowl, a blue Lucky Charm.
Full of it.
Okay, now they all CGI. None of them real. Now, I don't know if the Earth is flat. I don't know if it's a dome. I don't know if nobody's in your home. All I know is, okay, because the Simpsons showed us a dome, okay? I know religious people think there's a dome because that's what the good books say. In all respect to your faith, that could be true. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that.
Sure.
My whole point is, I don't think anybody has permanent proof, sir. Nobody has permanent proof. Admiral Byrd said there's big stuff. There always going on, but all the images are different. You got big marbles, you got little marbles, you got tiny marbles, you got small marbles, you got all marbles. Sir, they're all round and they're only showing us one side like a CD.
They're not showing us one side.
They're showing us a CD with smoke moving around it.
No, they're not. You see a picture of the Earth from the side where you're looking at Africa, Europe.
Have you been on NASA's website?
What?
Have you looked at NASA's website?
A few times, yeah.
Have you realized the disparity in the countries of the size, the disproportion in the size of the countries?
Yeah,
some are bigger than what they actually are to scale.
That's because we are on a globe, and it's very hard to put a round object onto a
You're going to tell me NASA getting billions of dollars and it's hard?
I'm saying if
you must work there. You got a part-time job. What you do?
No,
you
it's a round object. It's a round object.
You pass out the French fries to the
No. I shot Neil deGrasse Tyson shoes. That's
well, it's supposedly the Earth when you look forward, it's round. 0.8 is supposed to drop. You ain't supposed to be able to see all this stuff going on if the Earth is round. We also supposed to be spinning at 1,600 miles, but when we close our eyes for 8 hours, we don't wake up dizzy. I don't understand it
because you're too small to actually feel the motion of the Earth. Okay, look. Curvature of the Earth, okay?
Does an ant know it's on an apple? Yes.
No.
Yes.
The ant knows it's on an object.
He's not that dumb.
Do you know you're on the side of a mountain?
Yes.
Okay, that's because the mountain is not so big that you cannot perceive its actual size. You are so small relative to the size of the Earth that you cannot perceive its actual size. I got a good question
for you, sir.
What?
Is the sun 93 million miles away?
Yes.
If the sun was 93 million miles away, why could the Earth be flat? Why couldn't the Earth be flat? My point.
Why couldn't the Earth be flat?
It can be flat, right? If the sun is 93 million miles away, how can you get an accurate anything? Is my point.
Let's try arcs. Let's try a great circle. Let's try traveling around the planet. Let's try its what time is it right now? If it's noon in London, it is what, -5 hours. So 12 minus 5 is 7. It's 7 a.m. here. Oh, you want more proof? My cousins live in London. I'm on East Coast time.
How does that prove that the world is round, sir?
5 hours of difference where the sun strikes the Earth.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to get back to
the sun is striking the Earth on one part. It's not on the other. If the Earth was flat, it would just be striking the whole Earth.
My point is, why could it not be flat? Why could it not be flat? My point is, how come? Why are people so definitive that the globe has to stick?
Because we have sent objects into space. And we have seen those objects go. Those objects have gone around the whole planet, and we see that the Earth is a big circle.
Okay.
Actually, it's kind of a circle with a bulge in the middle, but it's still it's a globe.
Are you with Neil deGrasse? It's like a spherical pear. It's like one in between.
Yeah, it's not quite a perfect circle because it is spinning.
You need to stop. You need to start some dough. So what I'm trying to ask you is, we're
going to talk about the sun later, but anyway,
we'll definitely get back to that. But the point is, if the Earth can be round, then we have to open our minds and say that it could be flat. Nobody actually knows.
Yes, people actually know. They're called physicists. They're called scientists.
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think anybody knows for sure.
Nobody's been to the edge of the Earth. Fly off the surface of the Earth.
It's all subjective.
And go into space.
So what about Admiral Byrd? He was lying?
Admiral Byrd wasn't lying. He was reporting what he saw with the technology of the day that he had.
Do you think there's more land out there that they don't want us to know about?
Do I think that there's more land? I think there's a lot in Antarctica that governments probably don't want us to know about. They don't want people going down there. They want to remain undisturbed because there's a lot of scientific exploration that can be done down there. But that doesn't mean that they're hiding something. You're talking about, okay, you're
You
telling
got a government
me.
job?
I did at one point.
See what I mean?
Okay, you're telling me that the same government that cannot figure out a way to give people health care and balance a budget are controlling some massive international conspiracy to keep the truth from everyday people. Which one is it? Are they that hopelessly inept, or are they that devious and clever? Pick one.
I don't know. I would say that people with all the money make the rules. The man
That
with the
doesn't
dance
even
make
make
the
any
rules.
sense. Look, flat maps different projections of the curved Earth onto a flat surface, right? They're all disproportionate in certain areas.
So the Bible's just some bullshit?
Some maps show Greenland is bigger than Africa. It is not.
So the Bible's some bullshit? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what you're saying. You got to just get to
No,
get to
I'm
the
not
point.
saying that.
You are saying that because the Bible says it's on 4 pillars. It's flat. The earth is endless. It don't stop. You can. He made it so much that it can never be destroyed.
The Bible was written before people knew what was what.
So the Bible's some bullshit.
I'm saying people
look at the
wrote
camera and tell the people that the Bible is not accurate. I would like you to do that.
The Bible's not accurate.
See what he just did to himself? He just committed suicide on
No.
TV. I'm a good therapist. I thought I'm good. I thought I
No.
was very good with the talking to.
What you think that it's exactly correct word for word?
Well,
No,
I'm not going to do that.
there
Now that
are
you just blew your
limitations.
brains out, I'm not going to do that, sir.
Look, there are
I don't know if
limitations.
it's right or not. I don't.
There are limitations
Could
to
be.
humans' understanding. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there are limitations to humans'
I
understanding.
believe you.
The people who wrote it were limited in their understanding of what was possible.
I just know their name wasn't Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Paul.
we already had that discussion.
Okay, well,
that was
I'm just
last
saying.
week's episode.
I'm just saying.
Click
Flat Earth.
Click and find
Stay
last
focused.
week's episodes and focus on that.
Stay focused.
Look, the Earth is
Stay
not
focused.
flat. The Earth is round.
You got ADHD.
When you look out, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're standing outside and you look, you see the horizon. The horizon looks flat, right?
Looks flat.
It looks flat. And there's some people say, well, if we were on a curve, right, buildings would be tilted, right, because it's on a curve, and the horizon would, it would be dropped off. But here's the thing. You are so small relative to the size of the Earth that you cannot perceive a curve.
It's a government cover-up.
It is not a government.
It's a government cover-up.
Oh, that is horseshit.
Government. It's a government blanket.
Okay.
U.S. issue. G14 classified. That's what I'm going to say.
Why would they cover it up? What's the purpose?
Why not?
Because
Why not cover it up?
Thousands of years ago, people believed the Earth was flat anyway. Look, how about
That's a good
this?
idea.
Where's the science behind a flat Earth? What's the science behind it?
It's supposed to be a dome, 4 pillars. Stands
What are you
forever.
basing that on?
Bible, right?
Nope. You cannot. No, if you want to argue science with me, argue science. Don't bring theology into
I'm
it.
just saying that's where we
Because
get that idea from, though. Theory from, right? Flat Earth. What was the original?
Only from the Judeo-Christian tradition, and okay, let's go ahead and go with Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions. But if you look into Sikhism, Buddhism, Hinduism,
What's Sikhism?
Sikhs are a religious group in India. They're the ones that wear the turbans, actually.
Now you know.
There you go. But anyway, the point is, Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Baha'i, Taoism.
He's
what
not
do you
smart.
want? Shinto. What do you want? Pick a religion.
Right.
There are there are several animistic religions, right? You have native customs and religions in Africa, in the Americas, in Central Asia, all kinds of different stuff I didn't even name, stuff that I've never even heard of, right? Because I don't know everything.
Oh.
But what I'm saying
That's the
is,
first.
what I'm saying is that there are very many different religions on the planet. Each one has its own creation story, how the world came to be. Different cultures have different creation stories, how the world came to be, how the universe came to be. Therefore, if you want to base your understanding of what the earth is on a religion or a cultural belief, then you have to ask which one is right. And if you tell me that one is right and the rest are wrong, you're also telling me that you will negate every single other religion or cultural belief on the planet.
This is the problem I have.
What?
It's the problem I have.
What? Facts?
This is the problem I have.
Science? So you see, science doesn't care what you believe.
If you believe that the earth is flat, that's perfectly fine. If you believe the earth is round, that's perfectly fine. Unless you have individually been there yourself and your eyes have seen, you will never ever know. You will have to rely on what someone else told someone else who is now telling you. You can do your own research. You can do your own experiments. You can do all of these things. But I guarantee you, for every experiment you do, you will find 10 people to take away, to say that it is inaccurate or it's not right.
Incorrect. You see, the way science works.
That's true.
The way science works is this. What you do is you come up with, you see something in the world and you ask a question. How did that get that way? And then you say, I have a theory based on what I've observed. And then you test your theory or hypothesis with an experiment. You try something.
There are too many variables to even execute. There are not too many.
There are a lot of variables, but not too many. When you try your experiment, when you run your experiment, right, you get a result. And if your result supports your hypothesis, you say, okay, my hypothesis is good. If your result doesn't support your hypothesis, you say, my hypothesis is bad and I need to change it. Right? So let's say your hypothesis is good, right? So what you thought, your experiment bears it out. Well, great. What you do then as a scientist is you take your results and your experiment and you say, hey, you, other scientist, try my experiment the way I did it. Do you get the same results? And other scientists will take your experiment and do it. And if they get the same results, they say, yes, your experiment is good. Yes, your hypothesis is good. This should be scientific fact now.
Well,
but if it doesn't get repeated, then they tell you go back and try again.
Let me ask you a question.
That's how science works. And science doesn't care what you believe.
Call on me.
Your religion, your culture, your background, none of that stuff matters.
Call on me. What I'm saying is,
TanDope.
What I'm saying is,
what?
This is what I'm saying.
What?
So, is there such thing as gravity? If you don't weigh anything, you go up.
No. Weight is a function of gravity.
It's what holds you down.
No, gravity holds you down.
Really?
Your weight is a function of gravity.
The less weight you have, though, you go up.
No.
Helium is less dense than air, so it rises, sir.
No. Mass is what you weigh. You see, every object has mass. Okay? You have a certain mass.
Of course.
Mass is the amount of stuff that's in you, right? So I would say, like maybe 4% body fat, mostly muscle, a little bit of bone, mostly up here.
He giving me something. He giving me a few.
Bone mostly up here. But anyway, point is, your mass never changes. You are the same mass on Earth, on the moon, in outer space.
Right.
But your weight will change. If you are on Earth, you weigh what you weigh. If you're on the moon, which has less gravity, you weigh less.
Really?
If you're in space where there's no gravity, you weigh less.
Really? Gravity. You've been there? Do you know?
I've been in zero-G environments.
You ain't been on the moon.
No, I haven't been on the moon.
So you don't know.
But I have been in a zero-gravity
You ain't been in the Earth, so you don't know. You don't know if it's round. You don't know if it's flat. What do y'all think? If you're in an
aircraft.
What do y'all think?
And then you nosedive, you go into zero gravity for a moment, right? Look, all I'm saying is it's possible to be in a zero gravity environment.
Why is NASA so secret? Huh? Why we can't get 100% proof? Why they just can't show it from all angles? Why they just can't get the people what they want?
We have multiple pictures from multiple angles. What's your point?
No, we have blue marbles, multiple sizes, full of smoke.
There are pictures of the Earth from the moon.
No, we have blue marbles, multiple sizes, full of smoke.
We have pictures of the Earth from space.
Sir, we cannot get a fluid link from ground to space to why fire even works in space when fire needs oxygen, right?
Fire doesn't work in space.
Of course not, right? But they always show the rocket with the fire coming out the ass, don't they?
That's because it's self-oxidizing fuel. It creates its own oxygen. Duh.
And then they have enough to get back? That's a duh?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right.
Yes.
So there's no Photoshop? So there ain't blue marbles?
No.
So there really is things called spaceships and they really do go places? Yes. Even though every time we see a spaceship go up, what do we see? It start leaning, start gangster leaning before it even get to space?
That's because the Earth is round. We're seeing a curve. Look, here's the other thing. It's starting to go into orbit. Here's the other thing. You know what?
Man, who raised you? Galileo.
Do you know what magnesium is? Do you know what magnesium is?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what a flare is? Like a flare gun?
Right.
Okay. You know what? So magnesium is a metal.
Right.
When you light magnesium on fire, right? Now, what are the three things you need for fire? You need a fuel source. You need oxygen.
Right.
And you need heat.
Do we?
Right?
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Heat
Okay.
to ignite the fuel and oxygen to feed the flame.
Okay, smarty pants. Okay. Next.
Here's my point. If you take away any of those three things, you cannot have a fire.
Okay.
Magnesium is one of those special elements where it self-oxidizes. So when you apply heat to magnesium, it ignites into flame. And because when it changes chemically, it creates oxygen, you can't snuff it out because it's self-oxidized.
Why can we not get 100% proof? Why can't we get 3D views, A to B, front to back? Why can't we get the real hard copy? Give us the hard copy.
Okay, look at...
Come on, NASA. Come through. Billions of dollars. Give us the hard copy.
You know why? Because the technology they need...
Where are the pictures of satellites?
What do you mean?
Why do it look like when they in space, they got air bubbles coming up like they in pools? Where is the pictures of real satellites? You ever seen a real satellite?
Yeah.
Where?
You see, you get this thing called a telescope, right? And then you go...
Pull up on the internet a real picture of the satellite. There's 4,000 satellites out there floating around.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing ran into nothing that ran into something that ran into nothing.
That's because the scientists who send the satellites into space put them all on specific trajectories, right? So that they don't run into each other. You know how massive the Earth is?
You had some Kool-Aid this morning?
Do you know how massive the Earth is?
You had that Kool-Aid this morning.
How are you asking me these questions? You don't understand the Earth is huge. Okay, we're talking continents.
You've been drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
Man, I'm telling you.
What y'all think, man? You think it's 4,000 satellites above y'all head every day and one could just drop out of the sky and fall and knock you upside your head while you walk out of a Starbucks? Do you really think that? Come on.
The moon is
Stop playing with me, man.
One natural satellite.
Stop playing with me, man. Look, everything you show me going to Earth blows up, man. The ass cheeks on it blows off, man.
Does not care what you believe. Science is provable and experiments are repeatable.
What y'all think, man? You let me know. Is it flat Earth? Is the flat Earth flat or is the round Earth round?
The Earth is round. Okay? Science proves it.
Does it?
And science doesn't care what religion you are or where in the world you're from.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Science.
Okay. Pants went to Harvard. Where did he go? All right.
You ready to call the show?
So, it's been our pleasure. And remember, these are our opinions and not yours. But now it's time to decide who's right or wrong, whose side you on, TanDope or the other guy. Be sure to comment below, and it could become the topic of our very next show. Thank you for the subscribers who already have.
Look, if you disagree with our opinions, educate yourself and formulate your own. Either way, do yourself a favor. Click here to subscribe. Click down here to see some stuff we already said.